If you're your first time seeing me, my name is Carceno and welcome to my channel. Thank you very much. I know that's not all my money. Okay, all right. No, I had a few beers. I was gonna be stupid too. Now, if you're new here, you might not know what we're talking about. But if you've been here for years, I've had some people that have been here 10 years, watching my videos for over 10 years. That's a decade. It's been a decade doing this. And now, you all have had your biggest questions in the world that you wanted to ask me. And the biggest question I seem to get always keeps coming back up. So we'll try to address it for you. Now, I was just on Kwame's live, not on it, but listening to Kwame's live. That's why I waited so long. And I said, well, damn, I haven't said anything yet. Let me get in here and start saying some things. So, let's go from there. By the way, hit the like button if you just got here. Hit the notification bell, all those wonderful things. What's up, man? I see you. Now, let's get into this. Your main question to me, the biggest question I get, besides the other biggest question, the biggest question I receive from you guys on a daily basis is, why do you keep tearing down black people? Why is it always black people tearing down black people? That's the biggest question I get. And it's always those who are apologists for a certain celebrity because they are prisoners and slaves to celebrity power. They negate anything that person say, anything that person do. All because of celebrity. The same people who say that. Here is your answer to that question. Your answer to your question is a question. Why do we tear down other black people? Who better to do it than us? We should be holding our own accountable. Because if they not torn down, then they can't be rebuilt up better. They need to be torn down. We're not going on a scale of black and white. We're going on the scales of right and wrong. But who's better to hold us in check but us? Now, what you have to realize is that you have been programmed. If someone gives you solid information or detail about something, we normally had basically all the receipts. You didn't care. You want to make an excuse because you like somebody. Because you like the way they play a game, you like the way they act, you like the way they sing, or you just like their celebrity. Right? So anything they do, you're going to make and create an excuse. Will even drag other people that didn't have nothing to do with it into the conversation. Because you have no argument. You will even sit back and grab some human being that had nothing to do with the scenario. Sha'Carri failed a test for marijuana. She apologized, accepted responsibility for it. And what happened? All the liberals, let her race. Let her race. That fell on deaf ears because she wasn't playing ball. And that's when I gave her credit, because she took responsibility for what she did. What y'all try to do? What about Michael Phelps, though? What about Phelps? You don't even know what you're talking about, but you're throwing that out there because he was white. And I tried to help you guys out and tried to say that they were two different situations altogether, but you didn't listen. It's a rule of ethics. It's a rule that's been in place. And I try to get our people to wake up out of this delusion of following behind trends. Some trendy bastards. I mean, I have it in my family. My mother, my sister, they are definitely trendy people. I'm not a trendy person at all. Trends is just another way to get you to follow behind a bunch of garbage you don't even believe, but everybody else is doing it, and it seems like fun. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that. But this is what I'm talking about. Who said that? Terry? Appreciated that, Terry. And for the cash apps y'all been sending me. Yeah, man, it's a Saturday, you know. You got to get up, got to do other things around the house. You got to do your laundry. You got to put stuff away. You know, this is part of being an adult. And we need to start incorporating that more into our lives of teaching. You know, you got to stop waiting on people to do things for you. Now, there's a difference between tearing people down and just plain hating on people. You guys can't differentiate one from the other. You guys seem very confused when it comes to that notion. Just because someone's saying something you don't like does not mean that they're hating. If somebody's giving you detailed information on what actually happened, that's what it is. Just because you don't like it, don't mean that it's hating. But we got to get out of this self-entitlement. They babyfied you to think that someone owes you something. Yeah, they might owe you, but are you going to sit around and starve? Are you going to sit around and starve? You going to be the one to sit around and starve while this is happening? Thanks, Kwame. I didn't even see you come in and do that. Appreciate it, brother. So if I tear a black man down, that's because he needed to be torn down. Now he could build himself back up and be better. But believe me, if I tell you this is the reason why he's being torn down, it's never because of something petty. It's because of something that they're doing that's detrimental to all the people like us. Okay? You misleading them for their destruction. Just for monetary gain. Now, it was clear to see Captain Jack was doing just that. He's out there right now. He's so gone. His brain is so gone. He out there. Every video we make, he trying to prove us wrong. He gonna put his wife on the video now on his page because we just asked the question, why you don't never show your wife, Jack? Why she ain't on your page? You never show her. She got you on her page. You ain't on her page. But that's wifey though. Why? You don't want us to see that Mexican, huh? Now he got a picture. Now he got a little video of her on there with his wife. Jack! Jack! See, the thing is, we get them to try to do the right things, right? We get them to try to do what's right. Yeah, the Muslim brothers told me you're not Muslim, so you just a guy reading the Quran. They was like, I don't know what group he's in or what he belonged to, but he's not with us. I'm like, all right. Nation of Islam, maybe. Yeah, you could fit over there. There's a very good question for that. Why I don't show my wife was very much a very great answer for that. It's called, I'm not married. Not at all, sir. And if I was, the last thing I'll be doing is basically showing my wife. Unless we got our own channel or something. Unless we're working together. Exactly. Spiritual warfare. My thing is, if you're going to do it, mean it. Jack had a video we showed yesterday. This man going around dropping off food. Because I said, I'm like, Jack, anybody, if you want to do that, be charitable. You can go outside. You know how many homeless people in LA? You can just go and get him some food. Jack go out there and videotape him dropping off a box of food to some people. I'm like, boy, if I could just say something on the video and get you to do it, boy. This boy ain't got no brains whatsoever. We living in that boy's head rent free. Rent free. But see, there's no sincerity there. If I gave a homeless person some money, I'm not just gonna drop it off and just walk away. Oh yeah, go on eat it, man. This dude waking up out his sleep. You just woke him up. He don't know what's going on. He just somebody dropped the box there. He don't know what's going on. You running, you walking down the street. Yeah, man, eat it up. I'm gone. That ain't how you do it, Jack. Listen, the answer to the question, as I told you in case you just got here, is another question. The question is you. Are you going to continue to be pawns? Are you going to continue to follow trends that don't even make no damn sense? I remember when people doing the ice water challenge. They got all them celebrities pouring ice water on themselves. Ah, I elect Charles Barkley to take the ice water challenge. And I pledge my donation to the. I'm like, everybody's like, man, y'all gonna do the ice water challenge? I was like, if I get some ice water, I'm gonna drink it. I ain't pouring it on my head unless it's 135 degrees outside. I don't do this foolishness. We don't need this foolishness. If you want to donate to ALS, promote it. Donate your money. Do a video. You ain't got to pour no damn water on your damn head to do that. But y'all was stupid enough to go out there and do all that stuff. And don't be like, that wasn't me, that wasn't me. Yeah, it was y'all. I seen y'all. Ah! I just want to challenge. I challenged my buddy. Y'all wouldn't even donate no damn money. Y'all just dumping cold water on y'all self. Looking dumb as hell. Doing the silhouette challenge. All this stupid stuff a celebrity try to come up with and get y'all to do. And y'all follow suit. Boy, I swear. But you won't follow suit when they say come help the kids. Nobody want to go do that challenge. That challenge is too inconvenient. Oh yeah, Kwame just said salute to the chat. Now, here's the thing. How come everybody on here can follow a celebrity, listen to a celebrity, and do what the celebrity is doing and supporting his cause and all this stuff, but you don't be concerned with what's going on right outside your door? Why? You don't have the people out there don't even know their neighbors. Better yet, how many of people out here can farm, can actually grow their own food? How many of you guys can do that? Okay. How many of you guys can fix a car or anything? Change a battery, start it, change a tire? How many of y'all can do that? Oh yeah, and don't forget, follow, was it Seahawks Dot? Jose Rodriguez? His YouTube channel, self-talk YouTube channel, at Kwame Brown Bus Life, his YouTube channel, and definitely subscribe here. He said, I can change a tire too. Right, not many of you, right? How many of you know how to change a light bulb? Get the right wattage. How many of you know how to work the circuit breakers? How many of you know how to use the fuse box? How to go out and buy the right fuses for your place? Do you know how to clean your own gutters? Yeah, I do. See, that's the thing. Just because I don't do it now, don't mean I don't have the ability to do it. I've already been taught these things. So in case I need to do it, I can. But because of time, it's time for dollars. If I don't have the time to do it, I'm gonna get somebody who's gonna do landscaping. But I could do it. I just don't have 2 and 3 hours to be out there landscaping. But if push came to shove and I had to do it, I know how to pull up my pants, get my boots on, go out there and get it done. See, that's the difference. So no one's tearing black people down unless they deserve to be torn down so that they could be rebuilt up. When you go into the military, you know what they do? They tear you down. That's their job. When you go to boot camp, you know what they do? They tear you down. When you go to prison, you know what they do? They tear you down. Because whatever you were doing and whoever you were when you came there, they got to remake you. Now, it's your choice of what you want to rebuild yourself up to be. But the person you walked in being, they got to tear that down. So you got a decision on who you going to be when you build yourself up. And what I tear down is not black people. What I tear down is the illusions. Because they have put illusions in front of you. All fake. Now, Cappy came out and made statements, and she named some very poignant people in this industry. Not just LeBron, but she mentioned Jeff Bezos. She mentioned LeBron. And the power that they have in the media, she named some very powerful people and made some very powerful claims. And did you know what happened this week? Didn't Jeff Bezos, out of the blue, just donate, millions of dollars to Van Jones? Just out the blue, right? Didn't that just happen? And tell him he could do what he wanted to do with it, right? Didn't that just happen? On the same 100 million? All right. And then when that was done, at the same time, wasn't there all this press going on about LeBron James is the first active NBA player to have grossed $1 billion in earnings? Wasn't that out? They could have wrote that a year ago. He didn't just get another check to put him over that marker. He's already had that marker. So why now? Why this week? What happened this week? Exactly. Distraction. Don't pay attention to Cappy. Pay attention to this. Illusions. Complete and utter illusions. If you think Jeff Bezos is going to give Van Jones $100 million, you are out your damn mind. They are part of that go along, get along gang. And when Cappy was talking, that's why Larry Johnson, the Kansas City Chief running back, who was roommates with Jay-Z in New York. So Jay-Z, that was his roommate. So if Jay-Z said, this guy's my roommate, he might have seen some things in his lifetime. Because I've heard Larry speak before about Jay. And he knows he wouldn't put anything past Jay after what he's seen. So when Cappy spoke, he was all, yeah, I know, I believe her firsthand. Now that's somebody credible. They still ain't gonna run that story. They ain't got old Busted Busino. Just some YouTuber agreeing with Cappy. Now you have a former NFL running back saying that he agreed with the story. That he believes Cappy. Matter of fact, where has Cappy been since that day? Have anybody seen Cappy? Did they shut her down on IG already? I don't think she's hiding. I think they shut her down. They probably put her under a suspension. Oh, they try to have you committed. You ain't know they could do that? They can have you medically cleared to be insane. They got power to do that. But they'll put you in a crazy house. Put you on medication. Force feed you. And then you'll be guardianship to the state. Then the state can determine your fate. Wicked people do wicked things. And then the other biggest question. Why y'all don't say nothing when white people do something? We do. But YouTube ain't gonna promote that. They don't push that narrative. We point it out all the time. When they do something wrong, I point it out and go, hey, the hell y'all doing? Such and such did this, but they don't push that. And then you guys don't want to do it. You don't check it. You don't look for it at all. And I'll tell y'all it's there. You like, we don't care about that. No, because you care about people that look like you. That's why you show up. Same thing while y'all watching Sex in the City. They're watching Sex in the City. Y'all watching Living Single. Because y'all see people that resemble you. You like the show. Now, if I ask you which show you want to sit there and watch, House of Cards or Power, everybody gonna be, oh, Power, nigga! That shit crazy! Now, I mention it because both shows are great. Like, I watch House of Cards. I watch everything. I watch things that they don't want you to see. I keep telling you, they make movies that talk about your life that you have no parts of and don't know anything about. Like, they make movies just for them and say very key details in them. Oh, I pay attention. I'll be the only black guy in there watching that movie. That movie, one of those movies was in complete German. And I was right in there reading the subtitle. Because I know this is where key information is being passed along to the audience. I learned a lot. See, that's why people, they always talk about how smart Socrates was. But Socrates didn't really believe in schooling. Do you think a lot of us had schools to go to? Nope. Education came from subject. We were subject-oriented learners, which means that we learn better from a person. An object-oriented learner, like the European way of teaching, this is why they're more comfortable, the Caucasians, learning from instructions, objects. They're object-oriented learners. They learn better from, if you give them the instructions, they could do it better than someone telling them how to do it. Give them the book, they can read it and go right off the instructions. They're object-oriented learners. Now, we were being taught Western European way of education. So they just said we were incapable of learning, we were dyslexic. No, our natural state of learning is subject-oriented. So when they tried to compare our intelligence level, they were comparing Europeans versus the blacks here in America. And the whole educational system was, of course, it took a black woman to realize where the mistake was and said, okay, let's compare your European system over there compared to the way that we learn back at home in Africa. And the subject-oriented learning system that they do. Now let's compare the numbers. It was off the chart. The blacks were entirely more smarter than the Europeans. In every subject, we beat them. They knew this, but this wasn't going to fit the narrative. So the narrative had to be changed to let's just compare using the black Americans and compare them to the European system to try to make us not look smart. No, we're not supposed to be educated here. We're supposed to know just enough to get by to listen to them. That's all. That's why your schools don't teach certain classes in the inner city. I went to school in the inner city. I know. Then I came out here to the rich suburbs and I see the educational classes they have. And I'm like, That's why when I went to an academy for academics, I could tell the difference from going to certain schools, what you were actually learning and what you were actually could get out of these schools. They had people out here in the rich suburbs taking college courses already in high school because they were being geared that way. They teach you economics, 101, real economics. They didn't really require that to graduate in the city. You didn't need that. You just take basic math, take your little algebra, some geometry, you're good. That's it, you're good. They didn't teach you estate planning. Estate planning? Why wouldn't they teach you that? They teach it out here. You have courses where they teach you real estate. That's part of a project out here. The academic curriculum is different. Now, the state, it's all in the same state. Why they feel a need not to teach that to you? They teach you just enough so you can go out and get a job. They don't teach you all of these things about economics and becoming an owner, profit sharing. You don't get all of these things. They took music out of the schools. They took music out. Why did they do that? Oh, music's no longer required. It's too expensive. When I went to school, not only did we have music, we had bands. We had choirs. Do you realize that's how all the bands came to be? All the musicians. You know, a drummer can charge $300 a session just going in there playing drums for somebody in a doggone studio. $300 a session. He can make about $1,000 a week just traveling the drummer without even doing anything. A man who knows how to play the saxophone can get any job. He can get played for any band, any restaurant. They removed it. Yeah, you can earn more than 1,000. I'm just using all general terms. They changed that. Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5, the Ohio Players, Melvin and the Blue Notes, everybody who had a band, Four Tops, all of these guys played music in school. They were normally in their church choirs. We had one of the #1 church choirs in my high school in the whole state of Illinois. We went international. And they used to play the song, "Help Me Lift Them Up." That used to be their song. Help me lift them up, so help me Jesus. So help me Jesus. We was gone. But it taught music. Kept people in there. And you start looking at the system and how it's flawed now. Out here, they have a requirement of a limit of amount of students can be in each class. In the city, they're overcrowded by at least 30. So the schools had to push back their limits because there was a law on how many students could be in a classroom. This is why in the state of Illinois, there's strikes like every year. Teachers are overwhelmed because their classroom has been doubled. They're closing schools and just morphing those kids into other schools. Some kids don't even go to school no more after that. They're like, man, I ain't going way over there to go to school. They closed my school down. I ain't going back. So, if the state is failing the kids, if the city is failing the kids, why are you mad at us for pointing things out and we telling people who are responsible? We call out the system. We call out all of them. Why would somebody be against that? You could say, well, man, if this man gonna say that, why would we choose to go after people like LeBron? Why would I say something bad about LeBron? He built a school because it's a school built on false pretense. And after what Cappy said, I think people need to start probing that school a little bit to make sure. When you want to know, I know if I had a kid and I heard that, and my kid went to that school, I would want to know what's going on. Every time there's a scandal with LeBron, here comes some type of good deed. This is how people got into power. By the power of illusion. The power of illusion is so great. An advertisement agent was able to make a powerful name for himself. He don't say his name. But he had a way of making things happen for people by giving them their illusion. When they fall into trouble, he's more like a Ray Donovan fixer, except for he doesn't do any of the go out and beating people up. He's more of the internet guy that goes on there and publicists. He's famed in that area. That's more of his expertise. So he decided to fix a problem for LeBron James. LeBron James was about to have a big scandal come out, right? So right when this scandal is coming out and people are hearing about it, all of a sudden, LeBron James sends 4 black girls to college, to school. He paid for it. Then you remember that? LeBron James pays 4 black girls and just sends them randomly to school. Not this before the school. Y'all remember that story? That was everywhere, wasn't it? But what wasn't on there was LeBron James getting pulled over for speeding and being drunk and cussing out the cop. All that got removed. Delonte West out of the league for allegedly having an affair with LeBron James' mother. Right? All of these things get removed. LeBron James' mother's boyfriend comes out and airs him out on Instagram Live and put out the rumor that LeBron James and Beyonce had something going on. The video that they came after me over, when I'm not the guy that leaked the information. Allegedly, his mother's boyfriend, who at that time LeBron made his mother allegedly break up with him. Y'all remember his name, don't you? Lambo. Right? Now, I'm reporting on what actually happened. Because the man went out on IG Live. We wouldn't have known this in the public had he not went out and did all these things and talked about LeBron James like that. Now, would we? Now, Lambo was writing a book that had a bunch of inserts about LeBron, right? And one of the things in the book was about Beyonce and LeBron James and why Jay-Z didn't show up to LeBron's wedding. And how disrespectful LeBron is to his mother and to his own wife. All of these things are supposed to come out in Lambo's book. Next thing you know, Lambo disappears completely. No one's seen Lambo. We haven't heard from Lambo. Where is he? He just disappeared. So you see the position of power when it's displayed, right? LeBron has a child on the outside. Well, if you say so, go to the Patreon. Carceno for Life Patreon if you have any questions about that. You will not be disappointed. You will learn a very few key details about LeBron James on the Patreon that you're not going to hear on your regular news, because they're not going to talk about it. But on the Patreon, we can. Oh, there's some celebrities over there. We got attorneys, lawyers that didn't join the Patreon. They want to see how many ways they could sue me. I had to make some changes because they was in position to sue me. They was in position to sue me last time. Oh yeah, I got the speakers up. I'm just taking out the boxes. That's what it look like now with them speakers. Boo boo. Ooh, them towers. Man, we finna crank. When I get this thing cranking, boy, them neighbors finna start banging on this door. No, but we gotta stop making excuses. How many times y'all say, man, I want to do this, I want to do that, but how many times do y'all actually go and research to see what it takes to be that? Because see, that's our problem. We talk it, but we don't walk it. And I'm no better than you. I used to do that too. I'm no better than any of you. I used to do the same thing. I used to say, man, you know what? Man, I'm going to go ahead and do that, man. I'm going to write this movie, man. I'm going to write this book, man. Then I just said, I remember one day, I was talking to my boy, and he just brought it up like, man, are you going to do that? When you going to do it? And I was like, yeah, man, and I said, man, it's been 2 years. And I ain't got out a pen and paper. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it tonight. And I started then. And that day, every time, ever since then, I've always, if I say, man, I'm going to do this, I put my foot forward. So what if I fail? So what if not successful? I at least took the steps to get there. I know I was watching Olympics, man. The problem is Tokyo, man. I'm up at 5 in the morning watching the Koreans doing wrestling with another country. Come on, this Korean guy got it. Come on, let's go. Sitting here betting on wrestling. Exactly. I think I possessed that from my father. My father's like that. If he sees something, if it's something he wants to do, he's not gonna really shortcut the process, but he's gonna get moving right away. Cause see, that first step is the hardest step. That's the thing. The first step is the hardest step. That first step. I had a family member get mad at us because we claimed that we didn't support the business. Oh, I'll never forget this. A family member decided to start a business, right? And this is something you guys can hear because a lot of you might have had this happen to you before in your life. A family member decided to jump up and start a business. Just out of the blue. They've always talked about it, then they just got up and did it, right? And person has a bad track record when it comes to running a business. But here's the thing. I was more than willing to support the business. As far as getting things from the business and all that. But when that person is kind of unreliable, it's kind of hard to support the business when you see the errors right away. And this is before any items are sold in the business. You see the mistakes right away. And you try to help with the mistakes and say, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should, I know what I'm doing, man. I've been doing this for, all right, cool. Go ahead, do your thing. Just making a suggestion. What's good, Sydney? He's in Sydney. That's what's up. But anyway, tried to make some suggestions, didn't listen, and let's just say the business failed before it really even got started. Now, is it his fault? Is it his fault that the business failed? I wouldn't say that. But when I first mentioned it earlier on this video, what did I say the first step was to do? I'm gonna see if anybody remember. What did I say was the first step you need to do? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Festus. That is exactly what I told him. The first step is not to act by moving. My first step, and I always tell them, is research. You don't just jump up and make a business. You research. You got to do the work. You got to say, well, how much costs, how much of this I might be losing before I start earning? By percentages, by the number. Research the market and see, okay, what am I doing? Is this a niche or something that will phase out? Maybe I should research seasons to see, am I going to peak at certain seasons more than I am in other seasons where I might have to make adjustments so I'm not coming out of pocket? Research. Do the work. Because if you don't, you're going to end up losing in the end. So why not do something smart for yourself? What's good? What's good? What's good? Well, I used to hear it more often than I do now, but I don't hear it as often as I do now. Am I still in the boxing world? Yeah, no. I watch the fights now more than I attend. And oh my God, girls are writing things for me, autograph and pictures. Ooh, wait, where's her clothes? The stuff they sentencing, oh boy, I swear. Jeez, I'm a lucky man. Don't fall for the thirst trap. Oh man. It'll take more than that to get all my money. Yeah, man, y'all been with me. We've been on this video. I've been just cleaning up. That's why you see me moving, man. I'm always moving. I got a multitask. Talking to y'all, cleaning up, getting stuff done. For all the truckers out there, I'm gonna have a video coming out for y'all pretty soon. So stay tuned. It's a lot more coming. It's your boy Carceno. I'm out.